we have some absolutely charming imagery from our friends at Hunkydory. It's called Storybook Woods, and that is our brand new webisode. And let me show you one of the projects. So there you can see, isn't that just charming with the deer and the birds? And there's the inside of it. All of this is ready for you, so please come play with us. Well, as I said, Heidi has been working with these, and we have the topper set. This is Storybook Woods, and you can make at least 16 cards, but I know you can make more. There's also the little book of Storybook Woods, and that has, my word, has 144 sheets. You can see how thick this puppy is. Yes, just like that. And there's also added to this the Essential Book of Sentiments for this year. And you can see they're all foiled, and there are 3 base sheets, but they come in tons of colors. Let me just flip through there so you can see they all come in the colors that coordinate with Hunkydory products. So Heidi's going to be using all 3 of them, and let's get started on our very first project, and here it is. We'll get in just a bit closer. Thank you, Jeanette. Now, this is on a 5 by 6.5 inch card, but first you start with just a piece of cardstock that is the 6.5 by 5. Now, what Heidi has used is the Nesting Place cardstock, and you can see all the colors there. Kind of really goes nicely with this very summery look. And she cut the green out, and then she went into the pad, the topper collection, and this is the printed cardstock. And she started from this side, and she cut a little smaller piece, and the dimensions are down below in the along with the card. So you can just click on the card and you'll see the instructions and everything. So she's cut this piece, saving this for later, okay, so just this side. And then she matted it onto our lime green glitter cardstock, which is just shiny and fun. And you can see how all these colors, in fact, let me bring the solid card back in. Yes, how pretty all of that is together. And she matted it just on the top and bottom, and then glued it to that piece. Now, we're not attached to the card yet, okay? Then she took a piece of acetate. So because that is clear, I've made my sample out of a color, just so that doesn't drive you crazy. Now, you can see what Heidi has done is she's created this box on top of her card, and that's with the acetate. So very, very clever. Now, before she did that, she went back into the topper collection, and she is using this group right here. So that little teddy bear is in a hammock taking a rest. So pop that out and foam taped it onto the piece that was matted and glued to the green cardstock, okay? Then the acetate comes in. Now, the acetate is 7.5 by 4.5. So what she did is she placed it on the adorable scoreboard and did a couple of scores. So she did it at 1/4 of an inch, then at 1/2 inch, went over here and did it at 7 inches and 7 1/4. So what she created is this half a box. So I'm going to fold those just so you can better kind of envision what's going on here. So just like that. And then she put the extra sticky tape onto the flaps, okay? Then, whoops, put it onto that side of the flap. Sorry, well, it was flat. Then brought it over and attached that flap with the tape to the back of the green cardstock. Did it on both sides. And that's what created her box, if you will, okay? So that works very nicely. Then on top of her box, she added the outside frame okay? Not the gold one. The gold one's being saved. So the outside frame, and notice that it is positioned so that it is a framing that centerpiece. Then she took a couple of the pieces, relax and enjoy your day, and happy birthday. Okay, that's hard to say. And then she went into the sentiments, okay? And this is the piece that she used in the brown. And she just popped these out. They're foiled and die cut. Have a wonderful day, sending good luck wishes. Now, these two are glued down. Actually, you kind of want to use the extra sticky tape just to attach them. And then these two are foam taped, so that took care of that. And doesn't that color work nicely? Again, it's all designed so that that is exactly what would happen. Now, then also, and I'm so glad one of you asked, how does Heidi make such wonderful bows? Well, her secret is Hunkydory's bow maker. So she used that along with the green ribbon set. And you can see that velvet glitter ribbon is really nice right there. Now, on the inside of, so then you can attach this to the front of your card, and you do want to use the extra sticky tape because you're going to have acetate showing, okay? So then the attaching it to the front of your card, everything is hidden, and that works really nicely. Now, on the inside of the card, remember I told you that you did this on the front, you're going to save this? Well, this piece is what's going to be trimmed for the inside of the card. But you're going to do the same process. First, cover it with the light green. When I say covering a card, I always mean to take your adhesive, go around the edges. I like to make an X in the middle. Position your cardstock on top, along the fold, press it down, turn it over, and trim it to fit. That way it's going to work perfectly. Then we're going to take this piece and mat it onto the lime green glitter, and then secure it into the center of our card. Now, we use the outside frame, we use the center. That gold frame was left, and look what she's done. She's placed it here. Works really nicely. And then she took the storybook. We've got the woods taken care of, but we hadn't talked about the storybook. So this is sitting in a hammock, the bear looked up to the cloud, then let out a sigh and uttered aloud, "This is the life, oh what a treat, a day just for me, how very sweet." Okay, so that little one is offset. And then the bear topper is, they're both foam taped. The just for you, well, that comes out of the sentiments. And this time she chose one that's in kind of a faded back red. And you can see the just for you, and she has tucked that right under there. And doesn't that ribbon look really great with the green glitter, the lime green glitter? Okay, so that is our first card with that box acetate right on top. Very, very nice. Okay, now our second card is a slimline, as you can see. We'll back up just a smidge. Thank you, Jeanette. However, she did not use a slimline card, so it's a good thing we sell the slimline envelope separately, isn't it? So what she did is she went into the topper collection, and this is the sheet. You know, some are foiled and some are not. This is obviously a foiled. And you're going to cut it to be pretty much what it is. It's going to be 7 inches wide, 8 1/4 inches tall. Well, 8 1/4 is what an A4 card stock is, so that works out nicely. Now 7 inches wide, and then you're going to score it in the middle, and that is going to make your slimline card. Very easy, and that's what it's going to look like. Really cute. Now that little fox is jumping over a hanging swing, but we're also going to excuse me, add a couple of things on top. So this little fox is foam taped on top. The happy retirement is right here, or it could have been for a very special friend, or many of the other things that are in the collection. And those two are foam taped. Now the border, there's 2 borders on this sheet, one that has flowers and one that has words. So the flowers is what she's added here. And then Heidi likes to use the diamond sparkles. This is the gold and silver collection. She's just got some right there, hoping you can see that. And let's see, just one up there with the bear, a little bit on the flowers, so that takes care of that. Now her bow, made with the bow maker, comes from the blue ribbon set, and you can see that dot right there. Okay, so that's an easy way to make our card front. On the inside, well, on the inside, so she had used 7 inches of this, but then she decided to use another piece of it. So you could take it from the edge if you like, and that's going to cover the whole inside of the card. And then she took the rest of that border. She used part of it on the front, and she just glued it starting at the top. It's not going to go all the way to the bottom, but you know what? It doesn't need to, because we have another storybook right here talking about the fox. We also have the 2 tags. So she has glued one down, foam taped the other, added another bow, and this is done. How cute that is. Okay, so that takes care of that. A nice use of the products, don't you think? Now, there's also the storybook, a little book of storybook woods. That's hard to say, storybook woods. And let me show you what Heidi has done. So here is our next card. And this is using our 5 by 6.5 inch card blanks. So that just works nicely. Now she has used with this the wood and woodland. So she's got the 12 by 12 wood and woodland and the 12 by 12 solid cardstock. So let me show you what she's done. She covered the front of her card with the wood area, and then she took out this piece from the little book of, so there it is, and she matted it on the teal out of the solid cardstock. So that goes on the front of her card. In fact, I'll just lay it right here. Then she took the storybook part, and this is talking about the butterflies and the rabbits. That rabbit is swinging on that swing. Okay, the butterfly stopped in amazement and awe, for she simply could not believe what she saw. A rabbit in flight with nary a wing. What is this magical thing called a swing? Very cute. So she trimmed that out and glued it flat right over the tree. And then she went into the book, and you can see the other elements. So that little wheelbarrow is right here. And it's nice because these have a white edge, so it's very forgiving as you trim them out. I would recommend you use the 4.5 inch professional scissors. They just make it so much easier. So that little guy gets foam taped. In fact, most of them get foam taped. You can see the rabbit is right here, and that's going to get next to the fence. There's also a leaping squirrel that's right here, and that's right up there. There are butterflies that are placed. There are flowers. You saw them. Let's see. They were, yes, they were on the first one. Now you do get 4 of each of these, so you've got plenty to trim out and use as you want. The words right here with love, that comes from this sheet of cutouts also. That gets foam taped. And as I said, Heidi loves using Hunkydory's sparkles. This is the gold and silver pearls. So they are self-adhesive. So there's one there, 2 butterflies right next to the width. That little bow is out of the gingham collection. So you can see that, just really very pastel colors, just does a nice job. Now for the inside of her card, she has covered it with the dark green solid cardstock. And then she did a rectangle of the wood just to place that right there, okay? Now she has taken this piece out of the little book, and it's going to be the same idea. She has gone into that book to have this little wavy border. She cut it in half and glued it to each side of this piece. Notice this piece is attached at the lower corner. So it's not in the center, although it could be, but it's in the lower right corner. And then she has cut out and foam tape the other pieces on top. So that wavy piece and then this border is going at the top. And then she also has, this little log that's right there. And let me see, that little mouse really cute little mouse. It's sitting on top of another mouse, but you can separate them. And again, more of the butterflies there and there. Same thing, same ribbon on the inside, same pearls on the inside. And that finishes that card. Okay, I've got one more. Now it too is using the little book of Storybook words. And here is this card. So it's just really, really cute. This time it's going on the deer. This is the one I showed you at the beginning. So same idea where she's using the cardstock to cover the front of the card. But then she pulled out this piece from the little book. And there it is. Now, as I said, you get multiple copies of each sheet. So what she did is to take one and she matted it on the gold Miri cardstock, which is super shiny, and then foam taped it to the front of her card. Whoops, before she foam taped it, you want to use the gingham ribbon to wrap around the top, and that will take care of that. Then she cut another piece of this, and you can see she cut out the area so that she had kind of a tunnel look. This she slipped right under and foam taped it in place. And then she went to town on her deer and the bird. So did a couple of layers. You could just do one. She did 3, your choice. So she evacuated that tunnel, but then she did another one where it was just the bottom part of this. So it's up to you however you want to do it. But you end up with that dimension, which is really, really lovely. And so this is foam taped, this other deer is foam taped on top, and the bird is too foam taped. Now, the greeting, that's going to come from the sentiments, and it is, again, this color, and it says, huge congratulations on your new bundle of joy. Now, you could do that, or just for you, happy anniversary, you could do it for graduation, just all sorts of things. So that works really nicely. And then she did add, again, I told you she loves these. This is the sepia shimmer sparklers, okay, sparkles. Then on the inside, she used a lighter color. You see the darker brown, a lighter one on the inside. This is the sheet that she pulled out, matted it on the Miri, and simply wrapped the gingham ribbon at the bottom. Here it was at the top, so she did it at the bottom. On the inside, did a bow with a bow maker. The congratulations is on that same sheet, and then added more of the sparkles up there. So lots of good things. Very charming stories in this Storybook Woods. And there's the topper collection. You're going to get 8 sheets that are foiled and die cut, along with 8 foiled cardstock and 8 printed cardstock. Storybook Woods little book has 144 sheets. I think I mentioned that before. And this puppy has got a huge variety. There are hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of greetings in here, all foiled and all die cut. All of this is in the Money Saver on the right side of the screen. As you know, Heidi has written instructions for all of her projects. You can see them down below. You can click on them, and that will take you to the written instructions. You can print off if you want. I know I don't give you the measurements because they are right there, and it's just so much easier to read them than it is to hear measurements being given. So all of this is at a Money Saver, right side of your screen, as I said. If you're watching us on YouTube, we hope that you will like. We hope that you will comment. Tell us what you think. We also hope you'll subscribe. Then head on over to paperwishes.com, where you're going to see the Money Saver, get a close-up look at each of those projects, and decide if you want to print out the instructions. Now, I do want to thank you for coming, and we do have 20 webisodes a month, so we're going to keep your creative juices flowing. I want to thank Hunkydory for these wonderful products, and Heidi for executing those projects so beautifully. But most of all, I want to thank you for being the best part of paperwishes.com. Bye-bye.